Hi everyone, this is Esateys. I thought I'd shoot out a video for a change this morning. I was supposed to be doing a radio show which actually had to be rescheduled, and I thought, what the heck, got the camera up, let's just be with you. Today I wanted to speak about something that's been happening a lot lately, and I had two incidences yesterday which brought me to this awareness that this might be something that would be important for you to hear. I was coaching last night and I was speaking with someone who was speaking about their partner and how this partner had been very triggered, and how this person I was speaking to got really engaged in it. You know how that can happen sometimes, where you're speaking to somebody and somebody goes off on their tangent and you get really engaged with them. Well, that happens a lot for people. I also had another conversation yesterday with someone who had a different situation, but again, it happened to be a couple that were experiencing their interchange, and their interchange had to do with the person becoming very upset. Now, here's the bottom line. It's very important that when we have somebody who gets upset, that you do not have to be part of their upset. It is their perception, it is a process, it's their choice to be in the place that they're in. Now, you won't get upset if you don't have some little something that's intertwined with what it is that's going on with their something. So in that moment, when you start to notice that you're starting to get riled up, what if you just took a breath and you looked at what was going on inside of you? Because ultimately, what they're doing is none of your business. You've probably all heard the saying, what you think of me is none of my business. Well, that's true, because it really doesn't have anything to do with the other person unless you make that a part of your reality. So in these two incidences yesterday, what came up was, what is it that has to do with you? If this person has an opinion about you, so what? Why does that have to destroy your day or your moment? It doesn't. What if you allowed yourself to allow them to just have their experience, and instead of being reactive and going up and justifying or defending or doing whatever it is that you might want to naturally do from a personality standpoint, what if you just sat there and you took a breath? And I know that we want to be somehow involved, so what you want to do is give the person acknowledgement. I really respect how you feel. That's one response you could give. You don't have to say, I get what you're saying, but that's not really true for me. Or, I get what you're saying, but that's not how it really is. You're really confused. You got it all messed up in there, which is sometimes what we want to do, or sometimes we actually say that, or at least we think it. Instead, what if what we did was just allow them to vent and do whatever it is that they needed to do, and at the end of their moment of expression, you get to say, I hear you. I can see this is really important to you, or this is very upsetting for you. But you do not get engaged with, it's good, it's bad, it's right, it's wrong. You don't have to take a side and decide for yourself that they're one way or the other. It's not necessary, and there is nothing constructive or helpful about it, because what happens is you immediately, the minute you start to engage with somebody who's in a trigger place, you're going to find that they are going to be looking for you to attack them, come back. And what do you have the option of doing? Is allowing them their feelings, allowing them to just be with what is. And to the greatest level that you can, you be at awareness without any judgment. And you might have judgment, but you don't have to express that judgment, because the minute you go into that conflict place with them, then you're in battle. Suddenly you're in the midst of a fight. You're in the midst of conflicting energy. And then the ego gets very engaged, and it always wants to be the winner. So as a result, it'll scream louder or come up with better results. And if you notice that sometimes you're with somebody who is a better, faster thinker than you, it looks like they win. Or maybe you're that way, so you enjoy doing those things because then you look like you get to win. But are you really getting what you want? Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? And this is what you maybe want to be thinking about. Because what the other person is going through has nothing to do with you. You don't need to apologize to them or for them. You do not need to do anything with what it is that's going on to the circumstances. And if it becomes really violent, then my support to you is remove yourself from the circumstances. Say, there's nothing constructive that's happening here. So as a result, I'm going to end this conversation now. And then remove yourself from the environment if that's what you need to do. Because the minute you get into he said, she said, I'm right, you're wrong, we just can't come to terms with this, and there's an anger about that, it's not constructive, it's not helpful. It does not allow you to be an observer. Because one of the other things you can do is become the observer of everything. Observe how you're feeling, observe how you are perceiving them, because the truth is it's all about you. Ultimately, there isn't anyone over there. Ultimately, it's about you having the experience that you're having, and how do you want to perceive and be with what's going on. We are always going to be having people and circumstances that are going to give us opportunity to decide whether we want to be a master or a victim. Do we want to be awake and aware and observe what goes on without all that other stuff going with it? Or are we going to just dive in to the lion den and start to fight? Do you want to be a boxer? Or do you want to be in the love, in the peace, in the joy? What is it that you want? You have to make some determinations for yourself, because it's always your choice. So these are just a few moments that I wanted to spend with you to give you the realization that you don't have to respond, react, or be with anyone in any kind of conflicting way. You have the opportunity to look at them. This is one more tool I'll give you before we complete. When somebody's coming at you and you've got some trigger going on, look at them, and it's like you click the little mute button on your computer and you see the mouth going. All this stuff is going on, but there is nothing that you're hearing. It's like you just allow yourself, like a silent movie, to be not engaged with the words, but just you'll laugh. You'll get comical with yourself, because you'll see that it's not real. Not real. Not happening. Allow yourself to just be with that, and what I recommend is that you just look at that in a way that allows you to just stay detached and observing and humorous inside yourself, and recognize that the game you're playing is a game you're playing. How do you choose to be with whatever's going on? Because when there's an activation that occurs, hormones are released. It takes usually at least 72 hours for the body to quiet down. But if you never let them get activated, you don't have to ever worry about that. But you respect the fact that someone else might be there. So consider this for today. And in doing so, you're going to find that you will have an amazing experience. Make it fun. You know what I'm saying? Remove the adjectives. Push the mute button and have a good time. Because if you really look at it differently, you'll start to enjoy every moment of your day. Until next time, feel a hug.